Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Thunder! Tonight we bring you action from the MRL ARCA series here at the Magic Mile of New Hampshire. It's season 3, it's round 6, and the competition is only intensifying and getting tighter and tighter as we proceed. I'm your host, Snake, and I'm joined by two special guests tonight. I got my partner in crime, Smokin' Joe, and a guest appearance for our drivers only broadcast, Old Dingle Swingle, joins the booth. Welcome, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you guys here. We're having ourselves the drivers only style broadcast here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're roughly halfway through the regular season here, and things are only heating up, and so are the temperatures. As you see, a 90-degree track temperature. Going to be a little slick out there in the Berkshires. Taking a look at Michigan was a wild one last week, fellas. It only goes to show that it could be anybody's race. Anybody's can be a factor. Redinger won last week from the Irish Hills.
Yeah, what a great race that was last week. Came down to the wire with a lot of drivers in it at the end. Ken Redinger able to prevail and become the first repeat winner here of Season 3 and also grow that points lead.
Yeah, so the reigning series champ putting his stamp on things this season, being a repeat winner. You see the points here after Michigan last week. Redinger opens up his lead to now 19 over Eric Gambrill. And then third place, Justin Parham here. He's starting to make some hay, gaining a position after last week. Joe Volpus loses one in a tight finish there for Michigan. A lot of pack racing there. He's got a little bit of work to do. Matt Novella and Steve Lewis remain unchanged. However, the gap to the lead is increasing. Dalton Connor had a great effort. He's moving up 2 spots there. As you see, Thomas Fox slips 1, and then we see the rest of them down to the cut line there. Stinson up a position over last week. Jack Sanders moved up 3 after a great performance. Brandon Guerin moves up, and Sam Milliken moved up 2 after strong showings from Michigan.
Yeah, the thing I'm looking at from the points here is a few guys missing here tonight. Most notably, those 2 guys towards the back end of the top 12. Jack Sanders, Sam Milliken, not going to be able to make the start here tonight. So those 2 are definitely going to lose out on a lot of points in the field here. Jason Rochelle also not here, the first car out. So that's also going to shape this points battle as we move forward through the regular season.
You know who I see made a big jump up there? 10 spots there is old Dingle Swingle himself. So moving up through the points there, sir. Maybe a little bit more attendance and you can climb up that ladder. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good schedule, and unfortunately, I've just had some family things going on to where I had to miss a few races, but I'm back behind the wheel and looking forward to at least trying to finish out the rest of the season.
That's fantastic. Great to have you in the booth tonight, and great to see you back on track, running on a regular basis. Been missing you out there, so look forward to seeing what you bring each and every Friday night throughout the season on the Friday night schedule and throughout the rest of the series that you've been running in. So with that being said, we'll take a look on the track there, take a look at qualifying right on board here with Steve Lewis in the 88, Air Louie in the MRL Broadcasting F-Cancer Nike machine. Currently a top 10 qualifying effort, boys.
Second lap gets him up to 9th currently on the board. 29.86, about 2.5 tenths off the pole currently. Looking at some other of our guys getting out there, putting out some laps right now as well.
Yeah, we'll go and take a look at the 57 Lowe's machine of Brandon Guerin, who, got really racy there at Michigan last week. Unfortunately, a DNF, not the result he was looking for, but currently 12th here. We'll see what he can do as we go under lap 2. Maybe he can improve on that time, as you see Joe Volpus currently sitting on the pole.
Yeah, time's very close there at the top. Looks like he beat Buddy Sully by 1/1000th of a second. So those 2 very tight up top. Brandon goes 12th currently at a 16 with a lap time. Looking at Andrew Davis, he had a really good first lap up into 9th already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what a pink amp energy flavor would taste like. Maybe cotton candy, maybe bubble gum. All I know is that he's putting down a yum 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 qualifying effort.
I think he was better on the second lap. Looks like he's going to stay ninth for the time being.
So welcome back, Andrew Davis, after missing a couple races this season. Back in action tonight at New Hampshire, right on board with John Beverly, who joined the session late. He was going to be a coin flip if he was going to make it tonight, so I think he's getting his practice and his qualifying all in one serving there as he almost grazes the wall. 77 looking a little shaky out there.
Yeah, looks like he was good enough to be 17th on the board. Looks like David Brenner just went to 7th. And Tommy Fox is going to be the last one to put down a lap time.
So Tommy Fox, typically a top 10 qualifier most every week, definitely a top 10 finisher, knows how to put the races together from start to finish.
He's going to abort the lap.
He said, you know what, we're just going to run what we brung, and that's going to conclude qualifying. So Joe Volpus, your pole sitter tonight, Joe Volpus getting that qualifying effort that he needs there if he wants to climb back up the points ladder and tighten that gap to Ken Redinger. Buddy Sully back in action, going to start outside row one in second. And then Jared Kelly makes an appearance tonight. Good to see Jared out there in that 55 machine as he's in the SOL racing machine inside row two. Ken Redinger outside row two. Justin Parham, another quality top 5 qualifying effort. He's going to be row 3 with Matt Novella outside. David Brenner, a stalwart of the top 10, going to start 7th. Patrick Cowgill making an appearance tonight. Good to see him out there as well, going to be 8th. And we alluded to Andrew Davis there in his qualifying effort. He's back in action, going to be 9th. And Steve Lewis going to finish out 10th to round out the top 10 qualifiers.
Looking through the rest of the field, we got exactly in the middle of the field, we have the menace, as Mean Gene has come to call him, Eric Gambrill, going to start alongside Zach Stevens, making his first appearance here on Friday Night Thunder. Regular over in the DDIRL ARCA series, so got some experience with the ARCA cars going over here. Excited to see what he's got in store for us here tonight. Behind him, we got Chase Greer making his debut as well, alongside Brandon Garand. So we'll see how the vet handles with some newbies right in front of him to the series. Dalton Connor, he's getting his feet wet here the first few weeks. He's going to start 15th alongside another longtime veteran of Jay Stinson. Speaking of longtime veterans, we got John Beverly and Jerry Rose going to start together there on row number 9. Behind them, we have Nate Lesko, no time qualifying for him for the 3rd straight week. We'll see if he's able to grid this bad boy up this time. It looked like he was last week, had an early failure. This week we'll see how it goes for him. Matt Fritz going to start alongside him, also not putting down a qualifying lap. And then, of course, on the last row, we got Richard Swingle and Tommy Fox rounding out the field for Old New Hampshire here tonight.
So 22 going to grid up tonight. A nice sized field here for some short track racing. New Hampshire, one of those flat ovals, boys. A lot of folks compare it somewhat to Phoenix in that regard. Can you two talk to me a little bit about what we're looking for tonight? What kind of racing should be in store?
So, of course, looking at the track, that no banking sort of thing makes these ARCA cars drive a little bit more aggressively and a little bit more wheel spinny than usual. So that's what I'm going to be on the lookout here for tonight, and also to see how well guys are able to get into the corners on braking.
Yeah, Swingle, your thoughts as the pace car leads us out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is New Hampshire's like a cross between Phoenix and Richmond, where you have multiple lines going into the corners, and it's more of a driver track. So your throttle control and your brake control dictates which groove and line that you want to take through the corners and keep charging forward, which should make for some interesting racing. This is definitely not a one-line kind of track, so we should see some pretty good battles for position.
Yeah, so just taking a look here, 68-degree air temperature at believe the track was upwards of 90 degrees, so might be a little bit slick out there before they put some rubber down. Higher humidity, a little overcast out there. Should be quite interesting to see how these guys handle the first few laps. Want to manage those tires. We talk about it all the time. Don't want to build the heat in the tire early and ruin the long run. Pace car's off. We're about to go green from New Hampshire, and we go through the restart zone. Volpus breaks out. We're live from New Hampshire on Friday Night Thunder. Volpus takes us inside turn 1, gets a great bite on the corner. Buddy Sally challenges outside row 2 beside him. Jared Kelly. Volpus to the point on the backstretch. We see him fanning out 2 and 3 wide. Volpus gets a little loose on exit there, guys. It's going to be hard to handle as these tires come up the temp, and you see the pack behind him, Redinger in 4th.
Oh, we got a wreck already.
Caution is out. Caution is out. That is the Cheetos Chester Cheetah machine of Nate Lesko. He gets a little squirrely there in the 80. Brings out a first caution of the night from New Hampshire on Friday Night Thunder.
This replay here, ready?
Absolutely. So they're just underway, guys, kind of feeling the track out, trying to come up to speed, get those tires up to temp. And unfortunately, you saw it earlier with Volpus getting a little loose on exit. We'll see what happens with the 80 machine.
And maybe a little net code there.
Yeah, you see the 51 get a little loose on exit and barely any contact, if any. Right on board, Swingle, your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. Like I was saying before, the throttle control going in and coming out of the turns definitely makes for dangerous situations if you're not in control and you give it too much throttle. You end up fishtailing and wrecking.
Absolutely. You see the 77 in front of that getting a little loose on exit as well. Exactly what you're talking to us about. And, we saw Volpus there earlier, like I mentioned. So the car definitely is a little bit free out of 2, we can see. So we'll have to keep a tab and look at that moving forward.
And it looks like we're going to have some more pace laps, so we can get some good sponsor plugs in early here tonight there, see?
Hey, Kevin Kyle's got a question for you folks out there. Why don't you take a look?
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
I think we all know the answer there. If you see anything you like, gives you inspiration, talk to him. Reach out to KK Woodscapes. Your ideas he can create and bring to life. He sponsors a lot of the trophy work here in the MRL and over on the BRL side of things. Just a great asset to the community and just a great human being to talk to. So KK Woodscapes, got wood? Pace car is off. We're going to go ahead and go green after our first caution of the night from Friday Night Thunder. And Volpus leads them out, and we're back underway from New Hampshire. Volpus clears Buddy Solly on the outside, able to get that fresh air in the preferred corner entry through 1 and 2. Side by side, right behind him, Solly and Jared Kelly with Redinger behind, Parham behind them. Matt Novella with the mellow yellow machine outside. They're down the back stretch, taking a look. Parham in the 99 looking inside there. Look at the 31, shoot the gap. Cowgill looking interesting there too, guys.
Yeah, the thing I'm looking at is all these different lines that everybody's taking through these corners right now, Swingle. And you can just see everybody going a little bit different. So guys going outside of this dark black patch, guys going pretty much right in the middle of it, and guys trying to straddle that line as well.
Oh, definitely. Usually
Oh.
it's that middle line.
Oh.
And looks like we got
Looks like a
another
little
wreck there.
contact. It looks like Gambrel in
Oh.
the 46, a little bit of trouble. Oh, he gets collected a late hit as well.
Oh.
We're
Oh, we
still
got
good
more
there.
damage.
It's carnage everywhere from the Magic Mile. The Magic Mile not so magical as we are under caution for the second time on Friday Night Thunder. An incredible series of events. Sorry to interrupt, Swingle. You were just talking about what we were talking about there, and Gambrel around.
Oh, yeah. Like I said earlier, different lines going through the corners. It definitely depends on the type of driver and your overall control and of your throttle and everything on what line you prefer. But definitely some pretty good battling going through the corners. It's just the coming off the corner and tagging the wall ends up getting you loose, causing a wreck. Just got to be more careful.
Absolutely agree there. We're right on board and see what exactly happened, Joe. You see there, it just pinched out.
Louis?
Ooh, Louis a little loose there, drives down on the 46, and kaboom. Hearing a little displeasure over the racing comms, Joe. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are the 88 car was turning the wrong way there coming out of turn 2. Look at this. Look at how far sideways he is. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Woo! So, definitely overcooked it a little bit. We weren't having to turn left anymore. I hear comments thinking 3 wide, but I only see side by side. So, Gambrel holding his line. The 88 loses it.
Off break.
Well, 3 wide when you're about halfway turn into the infield.
So unfortunate event for the Menace. He's going to have to utilize some damage repair. I don't think he's using that fast repair. I think he's going to try to knock all the damage out and preserve that precious fast repair. But you see there is no back on that car. It's going to take a little bit of time to fix all that. And we see the back go back on magically.
Hey, there he goes.
Yeah, now thankfully with it being a short track, the back end really doesn't affect the overall handling of the car, so he should be okay for now. Hopefully not getting any more wrecks.
So he's not going to go a lap down due to that, so able to avoid being in a situation where you're trying to fight to get your laps back so early in the race. The only problem is he's going to be at a disadvantage starting at the rear of the field, going to have to drive his way back up through there. It's a definite hornet's nest, like you mentioned, in different lines, different corner entries, all the throttle control, and then it's all about where these guys meet on exit, and clearly there was a differing of opinion.
Does seem to happen at tracks like this, though, as well, especially when the throttle application is so crucial to how you get off the corner.
Pace car off. Vulpes going to lead us again on the inside there. Buddy Solly on the outside. Vulpes is out. We're back green from New Hampshire. Lap 10 of our 100-lap main feature. Vulpes able to clear with ease again. Solly on the 21 going to follow behind. Ken Redinger looking inside to take P2. They're side by side. Redinger not able to clear him. Sully's going to drop back and drive off on the corner exit. Parham right behind them. You see Matt Novella on the inside. Cowgill as well. Jared Kelly in that 55 watching it all unfold. Go through turn 3. Vulpes with the clean air gets the great drive off and gets that car to roll off beautifully. Ken Redinger's going to clear for second.
That he's going to make a move maybe. It looks like Jared Kelly behind, peeking to the inside.
Jared Kelly taking a look early. Ken Redinger taking a look at the leader there on the inside. He's on the quarter. They're side by side. Gets a little loose, but they're side by side down the backstretch. Ken Redinger and Vulpes battle for the lead. Redinger gets a great entry on the corner. Vulpes rolls it on the outside. Going to get the momentum there as they go off center. Just such a wide, sweeping, flat corner. Redinger, your new race leader.
And Redinger back to where he's been for a lot of the last season and a half or so, which is out front leading the laps, has great pace. We'll see if he's able to get it going here again tonight or not. But those guys further on back are battling hard right around 7th place.
Wouldn't be a Friday Night Thunder race without Redinger leading some laps, but look at this gaggle we have there. David Brenner in the middle of a Novella and Parham sandwich.
Definitely don't want to be going 3 wide here.
3 wide at New Hampshire isn't the best piece of advice I can give somebody out there, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make the passes and get the job done. As we see the 37 of Cowgill rolling the outside there, and look at that Days of Thunder throwback. Got Chase Greer there looking really racy in the 40 as well. Give a shout out to him tonight.
Making some moves here early on in the race. But it looks like some guys a little further back trying to make some more moves. You can see Andrew Davis there on the outside, Matthew Fritz right behind him. I see a Lowe's car in the middle of this mix as well.
Brandon Guerin there in the 57 tonight. The Lowe's throwback. Fritzy gets a little loose on exit. And Dalton Connor holds his breath watching at him fold right in front of him. Got a lovely battle there for third. Buddy Solly and Jared Kelly side by side coming to the line.
Here we go. Now, Swingle, which line you think is where you think you want to be making these passes here tonight? You think being on that outside there is a good place for Sully to be able to hold off, or do you think that Jared maybe wants to try and get to the outside of him to make the pass?
Either way should work. It's kind of hard. Like I said, every driver has their own driving style. I know personally I prefer the second lane, which seems to be the preferred lane even in this race right now. That second lane is where all the grip is. So kind of hard to tell. I think as the tires get worn, it'll change from going even higher outside, or some drivers taking a chance and hooking the apron.
Yeah, you know,
I'm a little bit loose right there. See, I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, Cowgill definitely got a little loosey-goosey there. I'm an absolute fan of that middle groove here at New Hampshire as well. Sometimes I tend to ride along the wall and take that outside line, but I think the middle is where it's at. As you see Davis slide there in front of Fritz, looking underneath David Brenner in that 22 machine. And Andrew Davis has a good run. I think he's on to something with that middle groove, fellas. Look at him dive it deep in there. Going to be able to go side by side, has a slight advantage as they exit 4. Going to come side by side. He's able to get down on the throttle, but Brenner able to respond. It's a drag race down into 1.
No, absolutely. The run off the corner when you're on the high side just seems to really help.
Looking for Matthew Fritz there, trying to get a 2-for-1 there. As you see, David Brenner has a little trouble on exit. Davis able to complete the pass. Wrecking there. It's Richard Swingle and Tommy Fox and Nate Lesko involved. Jerry Rose cautiously gets around him. That's going to be an issue there. As you see, multiple cars involved, brings out our third caution of the night from New Hampshire on Friday Night Thunder.
Looking around and see if anybody else has any sort of damage. I think the 46 still has damage from earlier in the race, it looks like. Nate Lesko, definitely a lot of damage though. He's already down on pit road.
He's already down there. Unfortunate circumstance for the 80 machine. It ain't easy being cheesy. Chester will tell you himself, but take a look here, boys. What did we see happen?
Yeah, that just looks like maybe he didn't hear a spotter.
Yeah, I think just drifts down a little bit. You see Novella holding that middle line there. And that's just the thing. It's so wide and flat here at New Hampshire. There's a lot of real estate in the corners, sometimes hard to judge.
Yeah, they just got hooked together there, and then once you're glued, it's just over.
Yeah,
and you can see all the
nowhere
damage.
for
Yep.
Yeah, nowhere for Swingle to go.
Yeah, so you see, like bees to honey right there. Absolutely.
Oh.
And then it becomes a little bit of a parking lot. Look at the 51 cautiously rolling through there. That was amazing. Good work by Rose there to avoid that.
Like he's down on pit road right now. Some other guys as well getting some damage repaired. Speaking of some old repairs and some other stuff like that, we got another that was a terrible segue. Another great sponsor to shout out. The good old Sim and Destroy.
So we destroyed that segue, but we're definitely going to sim it. Once again, Kevin Kyle is a mastermind when it comes to creations. I have this OG Launch Edition Goldie t-shirt, and I absolutely love it. You look at the other one, Gentlemen Never Lift, the darn tootin', we're racing, and the great skull work on the background. And lastly, Burning Rubber, Not Bridges. I absolutely love the character. I'm always into the skulls. Kevin Kyle has some great ideas out there, and also has amazing race teams, the Sim and Destroy race teams through various series in the Moonlight Racing League and the Bonfire Racing Leagues. So again, shop, support the community, and get the merch.
All right, so looking at this restart, Ken Redinger is going to take the outside as the race leader. This is the first person we've seen take the outside for a restart as the leader.
So you would think the inside line would be the preferred one here at a place like New Hampshire, but Redinger opts for the outside. Is that a preference, or do you think there's something to this?
I actually don't know. This is actually pretty interesting. He gets good enough of a launch, it won't matter.
So the outside takes the lead from the restart zone. Redinger shot out of the cannon, times it perfectly. Vulpes tries to respond on the inside. The 24 is out. Jared Kelly side by side. Vulpes going to be able to clear on exit. And Buddy Solly battling with the 55 of Kelly. Look at there, side by side. Vulpes clears on the outside. Down the backstretch. Buddy Solly trying to regain it, gather it back up, dives it deep into the turn. And Parham outside battles for fourth.
Looks like he's going to be able to clear him here off turn 4. That outside line making some moves there for Parham on the restart.
Justin Parham, no stranger to the front, always has a hot rod out there. Justin Parham in that 99 Patriotic Machine, currently in 4th place, looking for more.
Moving his
See
way
Vulpes with a
forward.
little bobble. Gets a little loose at it too, I'm noticing from some of the drivers. I think that seems to be a commonality here at New Hampshire tonight.
Yeah, and I think Swingle will agree with me on this, that's just coming down to these guys pushing a little bit harder than the car really allows at a turn 2 with the current track conditions.
Oh,
I think it just
absolutely.
goes down to basic physics, right, Swingle?
Absolutely. I know when I'm racing here and it starts to get a little loose, I'll brake trail a little bit as I'm getting back in the throttle, coming out of the corner to help keep the car from getting loose.
Yeah, definitely. Just most like any other oval, you want to set that nose, so a little trail brake, kind of get that thing straightened out, shift the weight shifted properly, so you can execute that corner entry, roll it, and get that perfect exit. But check it out, look at that, Patrick Cowgill running the bottom.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
We'll have to see if that's going to be a thing tonight. Right down there, below the line, down near the apron on the flat.
Yeah, you got Buddy
31's
up.
got it hooked up.
Yeah, you got Buddy all the way up there in the 3rd lane. Not sure if that's really the ideal place to be to defend the position from Buddy right there. We'll see if, yeah, you can see he's already back down a couple lanes from where he was.
I think he took a look at the 31 and said, I think I need to adjust my line. Obviously, a place like New Hampshire, the dirty air doesn't play as huge an effect as it does to some of the larger layouts, but I'm sure you kind of want to be able to stick the nose out and get some clean air because they do carry a little bit of speeds down the straights here.
Oh, absolutely. Or he could be just testing it to see what kind of grip it was there for use later on in the race when it comes down to the wire.
You go roughly 60 laps or so, if I'm not mistaken, on a fuel load. So, you know, the name of the game here is tire preservation as well. So maybe these guys trying to figure out what's going to work best to preserve those tires to see if they can make it a one-stopper.
Oh, we got a caution.
Caution is out for the 4th time tonight. The yellow is out as we take a look there. The 00 moving a little bit slow. The 51 just coming off the grass with a little front end damage. Looks like Jerry Rose may be involved with our latest caution tonight on Friday Night Thunder from New Hampshire.
Yeah, it looks like the back end of the 88's a little bit messed up there as well.
Steve Lewis with an issue there, damage on that car, involved in an earlier incident that looks like fresh damage. So we'll have to take a look at the replay, see exactly what happened to bring out our latest caution of the night.
he dove it in there.
And uh-oh. Oh no.
A
Not again.
77 trapped, and Steve Lewis in the 88 makes the same maneuver to bring out a caution there, just
Ow!
overdriving it on the exit, and Lord have mercy. What?
There's a more wide angle at what happened.
Yep.
Same thing, same thing.
77 in the double lot, no place to go as that tight, close quarters racing there. The 88 loses it on exit yet again, right on board with the 51.
Hello, Louie.
Not exactly a T-bone, but that definitely was a solid collision, quite the hit.
I think that might be a faster pair on the 51 car.
So Mean Gene Money, the voice of MRL on the Monday Night Mayhem broadcast, out there having a little fun, spinning some laps. He caught himself a Louie.
And by the looks of his car, it looks like he has used his fast repair.
So he's down with the fast repair. Gambrel in the 46 able to complete his fixing of the damage, so he got his repairs completed. Looks like Richard Swingle took advantage on pit road as well there.
Steve Lewis did not get his damage fixed, however. That rear end of that car still looks messed up from what I just saw.
And I'm hearing over comms, it sounds like he's going to have to use that fast repair because it's multiple minutes of damage.
See if he tries to come down right now or not. And no, he's gonna try and troop it out.
So Steve Lewis gonna soldier on and do things the hard way, and we'll see if he's able to improve on his misfortune tonight. As you see, Ken Redinger, your current race leader, Joe Volpus, who is your pole sitter, led some laps in second. Redinger prefers this outside line. Looks like it worked out well for him on the last restart, fellas.
A good decision from him. We'll see if it works the same this time. However, he does have his teammate behind him this time.
Yeah, so Venom Racing in full force on the high side. He gets a great jump on the restart. We're back green from New Hampshire. Lap 31 of our 100-lap main feature. Ken Redinger gets a great jump on that restart. Volpus and Parham side by side for second. Jared Kelly in third. Patrick Cowgill and Buddy Solly race for fifth. Down the backstretch, it's a drag race with Volpus and Parham.
The outside sticking strong right now. Looks like the 13 washed up a little bit. It might give the 99 the run he needs to get second place right here. 31 gets a little loose.
99 mats it to the floor on the backstretch. It's still a drag race. Volpus will not relent. It's a great battle for second here as we go racing right there. Look at that. Volpus trying to go for it.
Whoa, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, hold on to it.
Oh, lock it down. Volpus.
Oh!
Down the road course layout, Volpus with a major handling issue gets slammed, brings out the caution one more time. Andrew Davis involved as well. Incredible contact, the big one from New Hampshire.
He may need a shot of Crown after that one.
I know I could use a shot of Crown right now, fellas. Incredible action right here. Volpus, all four tires leave the ground briefly as David Brenner needs a nose job, and we got a wobbler on that left front. Yeah. Oh my God.
I think it's safe to say that's going to be a faster pair.
I believe so.
And a new set of tires.
Yep. So this is going to be an incredible one to unpack here. You see Volpus there, just hits that seam on exit and then tries to overcorrect it and locks it down, but ooh. With multiple groove racing, multiple groove racing, nowhere to go for Brenner and Andrew Davis.
Oh.
Novella just squeaks by.
Definitely got left side damage, though. Hit that inside wall. You get another view of it right here. 13 just did what everybody else been doing here, which is getting loose out of 2. Overcorrects it, and then unfortunately right into the path of the 22 and the 37. Oh.
You see Matt Novella kisses the wall there. But incredible footage as we saw the 13 leave the air briefly. Leave out of all fours off the ground, I should say.
But definitely some good control, though. He almost had it saved.
I believe if they weren't racing so hard behind him with that multiple groove racing we're talking about, chances are Vulpes would have been able to gather it right back up without any damage. Maybe just a flat spot on a tire there. Great car recovery. Just unfortunate that the rest of the field was oncoming and just too much to overcome in that scenario. But no blood, no foul as we see a fresh car for Vulpes. Looks like Matt Novella takes a look at his car, maybe gets a little bit damaged looked at as well.
Yeah, I think the other three boys took fast repairs there, or maybe Andrew Davis come to take it right here.
And I think a new set of tires, too, if I wasn't mistaken, for Novella.
Probably so there. You know, you got a couple sets here tonight, and maybe get those freshies and get some of that track position back here. A third of the way through the race, not quite to halfway, so it's still within reason to get a set now and still be okay toward the end.
Absolutely. There's been enough laps that fresh rubber would definitely make a big impact.
So that's going to make Ken Redinger take the outside again. It seems to be the magic for him at the Magic Mile. Justin Parham in the 99 on the inside restart P2. Pace car is off into the Echo Park restart zone. Redinger gets a great jump. We're back to green here at New Hampshire. Lap 36 of 100. Parham battles Matthew Fritz now for second place. Looks like they're going to be side by side behind him. You have Patrick Cowgill and Zach Stevens there battling for fourth. Great battle behind them. And then you have Brandon Guerin there and Jay Stinson and Buddy Solly. You got side by side, row by row. Look at Cowgill making it spicy there, knocking on the back door.
Yeah, you got all these guys racing really hard up front. Matthew Fritz is the guy that really took advantage of that restart, got his way up to second. Now Zachary Stevens making an advantage of it as well. So putting Parham on the inside was a big disadvantage to him. Maybe Redinger should have done it the other way around to help out his teammate a little bit better.
Yeah, Fritzy, the benefactor there, the 48 machine looking fast tonight. Matthew Fritz there. Used to seeing him racing more towards the front, getting a good run here tonight at New Hampshire. Zach Stevens making a great showing here in third tonight. Welcome to Friday night, Zach.
And you got the battle for fourth.
And you got a couple guys there trying to even go farther outside through the corners too, looking for grip.
Yeah, these guys trying any possible line there. You see Guerin running the outside, and there Dalton Connor and Chase Greer have a nice battle. There's battles all throughout the top 10. Beverly looking behind them as well. Eric Gamble trying to drive his way back through the field after having that early trouble, and Eric making his way, threatening the top 10 as well.
Eric back up to 12th right now, right behind Dalton Connor and John Beverly in the battle for 10th. Looks like these guys are still pretty much flirting with the second and third lanes. Some guys trying the fourth one. It looks like Dalton Connor actually put it on the first lane there for turns 1 and 2. We'll see if he tries to take that a little bit more. Looks like Jared Kelly down there now as well.
Very interesting. You guys seeing the left sides maybe touching the stripe there before the absolute apron. They seem to be making it work. There might be high risk, high reward there. And you see Dalton Connor and Jared Kelly able to make it work.
Interesting to see that the line might be moving down a little bit with these boys right now. We'll see if that trend continues or not. And look at that, it looks like Jared diving in just a little bit further down that time than the last time.
The 77 there trying to make the wall work, ripping the fence at New Hampshire. I don't know if that's the best method, but he's able to make it work for now. You see Connor moves up as well. Jared Kelly just sliding underneath. I think he's got something hooking up there on the bottom. Oh. Jared Kelly making that work down there.
Oh, definitely through 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a great battle there with Connor and Jared Kelly. Eric Gamble right behind. This is the best pack racing in the field right now. Look at that, side by side still, Connor and Kelly, lap after lap. Great race in there. Look at Gambrill looking to go underneath. I think Kelly's going to get the bite and slide up. He's going to make the pass. He's going to finish the pass. Jared Kelly gets the position.
All right, Swingle, add it to the list. A new move you can make, it looks like. Get down to that bottom line and slide up to the in front of the guy in front of you there. We'll see if Jared Kelly or anybody else tries it after it just worked right there on Dalton Connor.
He's setting up the 77 right now, Swingle. Let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, gotta love the slide job.
Yeah, it looks like Kelly's got it hooked up down there. I think the 55 has figured it out right now.
Saw the 46 go really low down there in 1 and 2. We'll see if he does it down here again in 3 and 4 or not.
I think he's watching the 55 and seeing the success.
37 going way down there a little further back as well.
Yeah, the 55 able to complete the pass on the 77, so there's something to be said. Go work in the bottom there.
Absolutely. Go where the competition is.
That's it. Look at Andrew Davis. He's trying the same thing as he goes underneath this gaggle.
And straddling with the white line and putting the tires on the apron.
Yeah, so it's looks like if the car can hook up, there's definitely some bite down there.
Doing a
Look
late
at him all the way
apex.
on the
Yeah.
apron.
Really late apex right there into the corner, turned it down onto the apron, center off. It looked like it may have given him a little bit of bite, not sure. Looks like he's still even with the 22.
So he's going to try it again. Look at him there. He's making the bottom absolutely work. You got slight progressive banking and the apron there. And Andrew Davis able to make it work down there, holding his own, trying to get that position on the 00. But Tommy Fox got a great line going there in that second lane.
But you flirt with danger doing that through 1 and 2 with the way the exit of 2 is. You end up becoming the next Brad Keselowski and clock that inside wall.
Yeah, that's something these drivers want to avoid tonight. As you see, out of 2 right there, the 37 and the 00 still going at it.
It's like some more friends starting to sneak into the picture there. I think that's what you're about to say.
Yeah, it looks like the 37 trying to push the 00 up a little bit, going to be able to complete the pass. Now he's going to work on the 93. And he's going to make that work too, and to get the slide job there. Andrew Davis making some hay right now. Volpus trying to follow behind. I think Volpus sees that it works, and he's giving it a shot.
Not trying it down here in 3 and 4, and neither did Andrew Davis that time. Gambrill is the other guy that I've seen really trying that line out on and off. We'll see what he decides to do this time around. Looks like he's gone back to this outside second lane where pretty much everybody else is right now. Don't really see anybody going too crazy with it.
Looks like the 37 challenging the 77 for position. Andrew Davis going to get it with ease. As you see him working that bottom again, Beverly goes up on that third lane, and Davis going to get the drive off, going to be able to complete the pass.
That was for 12th place, so he's slowly but surely moving his way back through the field. Looks like it just looks like these guys don't want to run this bottom like that all the time. It looks like it's just a passing lane for these boys right now.
That makes you wonder if that does a little bit extra wear on the tires, driving it down deep in there, riding that bottom, but it's working for passing purposes. You see Volpus able to slide under Beverly there for the position as well. Little loosey-goosey there.
They get a little loose there at a 4, like you said. But yeah, there goes the 13 all the way down to the bottom like that. Going to slide up to complete the pass that time. So it looks like that's the move right now for these boys to make. Got a battle up there for 6 though right now.
Absolutely, battle for 6. You see Garand and Stinson there right behind Buddy Solly in at 21. The battle for 6 intensifies. Looks like it's going to be a drag race to the line. And Garand and Stinson side by side again entering 1. Great battle going on here, guys. We're halfway home, lap 51 of 100 on Friday Night Thunder from New Hampshire.
It's like Brandon's trying that bottom line now out as well. We'll see if he's able to make it work. Doesn't look like he's able to make it work like the guys a little further back were.
So he's definitely testing it. I don't know how it works with tires that have been heated up, running a different line. Maybe he was having a little bit of a handling issue. It looks like high risk, high reward potentially once you got a little wear on those tires. But Gambrill there was able to make it work. He's got the position there. He's into the top 10, passing Chase Greer.
Yep, and then back up front, Ken Redinger getting under pressure now from Matthew Fritz at this point in the run.
Yeah, Matthew Fritz coming on strong later in the run. The 24 getting a challenge from Fritz in the 48, pushing the pace a little bit here, taking a look. Will he go for it? Looks like he's content to ride behind at the moment. But you have to think at some point the 48 might get a little antsy and try to make the pass.
A little loose there coming out too.
So you can see these guys have picked up their pace a little bit, kind of pushing it a little bit as they've created a little separation over third and Justin Parham and Patrick Cowgill.
Yeah, they've gotten away from those guys behind. Maybe Fritz trying to just put some pressure on, force a mistake. Not working to this point, but that racing back there for like 10th, 11th, and 12th is heating back up once again.
Yeah, Volpus taking a look there at Chase Greer, wants to get in that top 10. You see him just touch the inside there. He's trying to make that work as well. I think they've unlocked the secret here at New Hampshire. You can make that bottom work to pass the cars, and then you go back up and run your normal line throughout the rest of the run. I think that might be the little hack here at New Hampshire.
You can see pretty much everybody spacing out pretty good right now. Fritz trying to stay close to Redinger. Volpus close to Greer. We got a pit stop here. We are in the window to make it to the end, so Matt Novella on the aggressive end of it here, pitting on lap 54.
Novella trying to spice things up and put pressure on the leaders, try to do the undercut and force their hands early. Could be the race-winning strategy. Novella in for what could potentially be the race-winning move.
We'll see how much the tire fall-off really comes into effect here, but the main thing he's going to need is his race to go green because he's now a lap down.
Yes, so the last thing he needs to see is the yellow right now because he is an early adopter for the final service of the night. He can make it to the end from here. The window is open, so we'll see if he can go ahead with 45 laps on that set of tires and make it work.
Well, a lap down, so he's playing with house money now at this point to make the strategy work in his favor.
Or hope that the rest of the field follows suit.
This is indeed agreed. Look at Gambrill, but Davis runs that bottom really well. He's got it mastered at the moment as he applies pressure to Guerin for the position. Yeah, there it is. Andrew Davis going to get that position on Brandon Guerin, going to move into ninth. Eric Gambrill on the outside, praying as well.
See the 57
you see Volpus entering the picture.
Yep. 57 trying to follow the same line as Andrew Davis, trying to figure out anything he could be doing different because he's trying just to figure out why those boys in front of him got away, who are now battling really hard for 7th place once again.
Look at that, Kelly and Stinson there. Jared Kelly gets a little twitchy. Jay Stinson there trying to apply a little bit of defense. These boys are side by side. This is the battle for 7th. We saw Jared Kelly. He was making that inside apron move work. We saw it first before we noticed Gambrill and Andrew Davis using it. Jared Kelly having success with it as well. This is a great battle for 7th.
Looks like the boys are moving back up the track just a little bit right now. Though, as I say that, the 55 goes back down to the bottom lane. Going to try and do that slide job here once again and completes it.
Yeah, Jared Kelly going to complete the pass. I think they're trying to get as much as they can before the final pit stop. You see Gambrill all the way down on the apron there, sliding back up. Not going to be able to clear the 57. An aggressive move from the Menace.
Oh, 57 gets loose at it too. That was scary.
Sketchville, USA. And so there's some laps on these set of tires for some of these drivers. Talk to me about tire wear and tire heat here at New Hampshire, Swingle.
The tire wear really doesn't seem to affect the car too much. It's almost like being on a road course where you can go an extended period of time on a set of tires. But then again, it all depends on the driver and how hard they're pushing the car as well. The harder they're pushing it and sliding through the corners, you're going to wear your tires out a whole lot quicker.
And we see the race for the lead right there. Matthew Fritz still taking a peek at Ken Redinger there. That 48th has been stalking Redinger for the last 15 laps or so as they've broken away from third and fourth. Two-car breakaway for the lead here. Fritz taking the bottom. Redinger content to run that middle. Then applies a little bit of defense on exit, taking a little bit of the air and the line away from the 48.
Yeah, these boys, they haven't really been playing with that bottom line yet, right, guys? So they're just kind of straddling the same line that they've been running all race. They haven't really seen what's going on further back in the field with Andrew Davis, Eric Ambrell, Joe Fulpus, Jared Kelly, all those boys really using the bottom.
Davis making it another move there, going to gain the position from Stinson, going to move into 8th. The 37 is just moving and shaking. He's really making that bottom work. I think he's mastered it like I alluded to earlier. I just wonder how that's going to be once he gets to the top 5. Will he have anything left on that equipment?
I mean, oh
Look
my
at
goodness.
aggressively riding the bottom.
Let's go on board with the 46 car. I kind of want to see what he's seeing when he's making these kind of dives into the corner. Let's see if he does it again.
Well, the shortest way
absolutely.
around the track is the apron.
He said, hell yeah, I'm doing that again. But look, it's working. He's just inching ever closer to Jay in the 60 Diet Do machine. And let's see if he goes for it here in the 3. Wow, on the grass, fellas.
Woo.
On the grass there through 1 and 2. Incredible. Not going to be able to gain anything there. I think he just a little too aggressive. Lost a little bit of time there. Going to go for it again, shooting it.
This is a great view just watching what Gambrell's doing, watching the race from his eyes right now, and these moves that he's making.
He gained that time back. Looks like he's got the position there. Side by side, is he going to be able to make it stick in 1 and 2 this time? And it looks like he's going to slide up and make it happen. Gambrell with the incredible driving and unorthodox style to complete the pass. And it looks like we have some takers down pit road. Is that Parham?
That is Parham taking his 4 tires and fuel, so he's going to come out. Zachary Stevens, I see him pitting behind. Let's see where Parham comes out in relation to Matt Novella. Looking, Novella's all the way back here in turn 4. Parham all the way up here in turn 2, so easily beats the 56 off pit road.
Justin Parham with a great pit sequence there, able to position himself ahead of Matt Novella, who was the early adopter. Ken Redinger, your leader, drives down there, going to dive down a pit road and potentially take his final service of the night. Matthew Fritz, your new race leader on Friday Night Thunder.
Yep, we'll see what Ken Redinger does here as now he's pitting. Fritz, like you said, takes over the race lead. He has a pretty comfortable gap at this moment in time. We'll see if he comes down, though, immediately or if he stays out a little bit longer.
Let's see, Matthew Fritz is not going to play with this any more than he has to. Going to come down the very next lap. Matthew Fritz, a little harrowing moment there. And you see Patrick Cowgill going to follow him in as these gentlemen take their potential final service of the night. And then we have another taker down there as Jay Stinson's going to take his service as well.
A lot of guys pitting that time by.
Tommy Fox in the background as well, going to come in for service.
Definitely a smart move because you don't want to lose time to the leader who was the first one on pit road.
Absolutely not. Buddy Solly, who's going to inherit the lead briefly, going to come in for his service as well. You don't want to bleed the time or the positions there. You got to make it happen. And Jared Kelly going to inherit the race lead as a result. Jared Kelly going to get credit for laps led as you see Cowgill re-enter the track from his pit service. And look at that, Andrew Davis back into the picture, going to put pressure on that 55. But the 31's got the freshies. The 99 has the freshies. They're going to be bullying these lead lap cars, trying to unlap themselves.
Oy.
Yeah, a little harrowing moment as we're 3 wide through the front stretch at New Hampshire. 3 wide and a return 1.
All this going on right in the middle of the pit cycle. We'll see how it all plays out for everybody. Not sure if those boys that pitted on the last caution can make it to the end or not. I'm hearing it's pretty close for them. So Jared Kelly, Andrew Davis, Gambrill, and Vulpes might be trying to push it here, along with Brenner, Garand, and the rest of them. Nope, Gambrill pits this time.
Gambrill going to pit this time, but that was an incredible battle side by side with Parham and Cowgill. They may be a lap down, but that was a battle for position.
Yeah, now they both got clear of the leader, Kelly, so they're both back on the lead lap. That's crucial for them if there's a caution.
So unlapping themselves the traditional way, as you see what could turn out to be a great strategy, but Andrew Davis and Jared Kelly currently battling for the current race lead. As you see, Kelly's going to maintain the position, but Davis is applying the pressure, riding that bottom.
Yeah, look at this move. That looks like Andrew Davis wants to take over the race lead. Going to do his best to try and get it done. It looks like Brandon Garand comes down pit road this time. So another one that is off strategy and going to come pit.
Aaron going for his services. You see Davis does the slide job, makes it happen. Your new race leader, Andrew Davis. Davis in the 37, charging hard. Race leader.
Yep, we'll see if these guys can make it to the end. Richard Swingle, you are the king of stretching the fuel and tires as far as humanly possible. Do you think these boys have a chance to make it to the end?
They possibly could. I personally would pit. There's too many laps left to try to stretch it, especially with the majority of the field already pitted and has fresh rubber on. So definitely not a track I would tempt trying to stretch the fuel with.
Yeah, you see you have 9 cars, 1 lap down, so 13th on back, 1 lap down. You know, you got Jerry Rose, the last car on the lead lap. Looks like Andrew Davis is stalking right now, and he's got a gaggle behind him. More guys that are on fresher tires going to try to unlap themselves. Garand with a problem. Caution out on the track.
That changes everything.
So business indeed has picked up as we are under caution for the 6th time tonight on Friday Night Thunder. The 57 with some kind of issue brings out our latest caution. We were just in the middle of that pit sequence. The majority of the former leaders went in for service. These guys currently up front trying to stretch this out. I don't know what this does to the strategy, but I think I want 4 fresh tires.
Oh.
And that's been the move all night, guys. That overcooking it, hitting that seam on exit of 2, just throttling it up.
Yeah, just across way too many lanes right there after clipping the apron to try and get the grip. It just came right out from underneath them, going across the seams there.
He had the right idea. We saw so many Ed Davis, Gambrill, Kelly making it work, but unfortunately that's been a trouble spot, and going across the track like that, the car just could not stay hooked up. So that's going to change things up a bit. Look at all these takers to pit road.
Yeah, so these are all the boys that hadn't pit yet. So the guys that got back around on the lead lap now are going to stay out and inherit the lead. That's going to be Ken Redinger, Matthew Fritz, Patrick Cowgill, and Justin Parham. Then you're going to have this group of guys that pits. Then you're going to have your wave rounds. It looks like you got your lucky dog, Zachary Stevens. Looks like you got Buddy Sully as a part of the wave rounds. Eric Gambrill is a part of the wave rounds. Looks like Chase Stinson, Matt Novella, Richard Swingle in that beautiful Red Bull car. Dalton Connors also up there.
Tiny Red Bull car.
Yep. It looks like Tommy Fox is going to be trapped between the leaders and the guys that pitted, so he's not going to get the wave around. Neither is Brandon Garand. Those guys are going to be stuck a lap down right here.
So interesting set of circumstances at the Magic Mile. You have the gentleman in the top spots there from 6th on up to 1st there. the top four, I should say, on slightly older tires. But they've shown that they've been able to maintain their equipment and drive away over the course of the run. But now we're bottled back up, guys, and you have a lot of fresh tires, and you see somebody like Andrew Davis, who's making that bottom work, Joe Volpus, who is your pole setter, led laps tonight, David Brenner, who's been a sneaky one. He could make something happen here. What do you guys anticipate here as we have 22 laps remaining in this race?
Ed Swingle.
Oh, good. Well, if I'm Matt Fritz, I'm looking to get the best jump that I can to at least go through 1 and 2 side by side to have some sort of a chance at taking the lead.
And it looks like he was not able to get the jump you mentioned. Ken Redinger is able to drive away, but Fritz is able to battle back and challenge Parham there for second. Fritz is going to make the bottom work. Let's see if he can slide up. I don't know if he had enough. It looks like it's going to be a drag race. Fritz is going to be able to clear Parham there, and Cowgill looking inside for third.
Oh.
Got it side by side for the lead. Fritz kind of drives up a little bit, got a little tight. He's going to make the bottom work. He's loosey-goosey, baby. Matthew Fritz trying to make all the things happen there to get that lead. It's only going to make to where Justin Parham drives away and Patrick Cowgill challenges for third. Fritz trying to battle back, but Ken Redinger, your race leader.
Yeah, Fritz tried to make that apron work the way the other boys have been making it work there. You saw, of course, Davis, Volpus, and others, Gambrel, Kelly earlier, and he just was not able to get the same grip. Looks like everybody may be a little spooked by that not going down there right now. I think
No,
I
it
see
looks like
Gambrel back there
everybody's
making some moves, though.
Gambrel trying to drive all through there. As you see, he's going to be committed to the bottom. Look at him down the service road on the apron. Unbelievable moves, but he's making it stick. He's making it work. As you see, Zachary Stevens behind them, and Richard Swingle a little loose.
Let's see, how far deep does he go? Look at that.
That is a hell of a drive deep into the corner there. And, baby, almost hits the pit commitment box on exit.
Not able to make a pass out of it, though, so might have to rethink the strategy of going down there like this, because he's not going forward.
Losing positions there, but definitely highlight real material, as you don't typically see a car dive the bottom in New Hampshire like that, or any short track for that matter.
Go back up towards the front there, see? Look at that, here comes Jared Kelly up the inside with a little bit fresher tires. So right now, Jared Kelly is the first one of the guys that pitted. Andrew Davis, Joe Volpus, and Brenner, the next few with John Beverly in tow as well.
Got these great battles for the lead, boys. I know we're getting close to the end, but what about a brief crank it up? Woo! And we're back from New Hampshire. You had to get that action and hear all the sights and sounds from New Hampshire to appreciate the amazing racing that we have going on in the final stages of tonight's main feature from New Hampshire. Ken Redinger, race leader. Derek Gambrel diving the bottom. Andrew Davis making that bottom work as well. But right now it's a three-car breakaway Ken Redinger, Patrick Cowgill, Jared Kelly, your top three. Will the back of the field answer back? You see Cowgill applying pressure to Redinger. They're getting tight up there. It's go time.
Andrew Davis got clear of some of these boys as well. Now you see Joe Volpus trying to get his way up into 5th. Eric Gambrell's starting to make some progress, making these wild moves into turns 1 and 3, starting to move forward slowly, bit by bit.
Getting that bottom to work, fellas. It's just a matter of time now. I think he's got it down to a science there. If there was a little harrowing on that restart, I guess trying to go for it on the cold tires a little too soon. But now that we're up to temp, Fritz in the wall. He's got it working side by side. Battle for 7th.
Look at how deep he's going into the corner. I am concerned that one of the guys to the outside isn't going to expect him to be there and there's going to be contact.
Little loose there on exit there.
And that's just a case of too much throttle coming out. I did notice the last time when we went to his cockpit view, and you can see his RPMs as he's going down onto the apron. You can see just how hard he's getting onto the brakes.
3 wide as he's on the bottom.
By the quick dip in his RPMs, and that he's gingerly getting back on. But the way he's getting loose coming off of the 4 now, you can see it's go time, and he's giving it more throttle.
Trying to cross it over as you see Fritz trying to adopt that move, saying, hey man, I could do that too. Oh, contact with Parham. 46 hits the rear of Parham.
And he's able to save it.
Justin Parham able to save it. Hearing the displeasure over the comms. Not happy, Justin Parham. Not happy over that move. Contact. Parham, one of your top 5 contenders there, takes a big hit as Gambrell keeps moving forward.
The Menace claims another victim here today.
You see trying to make it happen there. You know, he's in the 8th position there. Joe Volpus now working on Patrick Cowgill. Joe Volpus entering the picture there into the top 5. So the pole sitter there starting to sneakily make his way back up to the front as there's 10 laps, now 9 laps to go at the line from New Hampshire.
Look at that.
Andrew Davis on the bottom again. He's going to go back to making that work, putting the pressure on Jared Kelly for 2nd. The 37 and the 55 battling, but you can't battle too long. That 24 is getting away.
Yeah, Ken Redinger getting a bit of a lead, but he is on a little bit older tires than these 3 directly behind him. We'll see if that comes into play here in the last 8 laps of the race.
Fly job on Kelly. Yep, Andrew Davis is there, able to take the position into 2nd place. Volpus looking underneath Kelly for 3rd.
Look at how much better Davis got through 1 and 2 than Redinger. Made up almost 1/10 of a second that time. And there's still 8 laps left, so if he's able to have those kind of corners, he will get to Redinger here pretty quick.
That car's hooked up right now. He's got tons of grip. That car is hooking up on exit, rotating masterfully. As you see Volpus trying to look underneath. They're trying to get around the 55. They're going to try to set up the pass right here, entering 2.
Here we go. We're starting to see those guys use the apron a little bit more. 2 tires below there for the 13. I saw the 37 also right on that line.
So the 37 inching closer to Redinger there, and you see Volpus underneath Kelly as well. Got some great battles here at the front of the field. Andrew Davis stalking the 24 of Ken Redinger. Joe Volpus in a dogfight with Jared Kelly.
Looks like Davis going to try and do the same move that Joe's trying to do behind.
Jared Kelly trying to play a little defense, running down, keep Volpus pinched on the bottom, keep him at bay for now, but Volpus will not relent. Entering 3, going to drive it down deep into the turn.
Going to try and slide him.
He's going to slide him as you see him briefly blink. Kelly trying to cross it over, but Volpus going to complete the position. Got 5 to go from New Hampshire. Look at this battle for the lead, fellas. Davis is there.
Here he goes. He's going to try and use that line and hook it around and maybe clear the 24. Not able to get it done that time. 13 sliding out of 2.
You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Redinger's not going to lay down for him.
Putting up a great fight on the outside of the 37. Might be just a little bit better on his tires. Those extra laps on the 24s might start coming into effect here with 4 to go.
Side by side at the line, Davis with the slight advantage, entering one, going to be able to slide up and take the position. New race leader Andrew Davis with 4 to go. Vulpes looking for second.
The 13 car looked like he got excessively close to the inside wall that time. Really using the apron a lot right now.
Vulpes taking a playbook out of the 37 is going to be able to get side by side with the 24. I think the 24 might be out of tires right there. I think 24 used his stuff up trying to fight these guys off. Vulpes with the position there. Will he be able to slide it up? Yes, he will. Joe Vulpes to second. 3 to go from New Hampshire.
He got really low that time, very close to the wall once again, and we're coming to 2 to go here. Andrew Davis in control.
Swingle, I'm on the edge of my seat. This is incredible action. Jared Kelly battling Redinger for third. As you see, Vulpes stalking the 37 of Davis. 2 to go at the line. Crossing him over.
Nice block by Davis, trying to guard the inside, knowing that Joe can use the apron just as well as he can.
Vulpes looking outside, drifting that thing out of 2, baby. Davis able with the slight advantage, but Vulpes going to battle back on the outside through 3. You see Kelly get by Redinger for third. They're side by side at coming to the line. Look at this battle. White flag from New Hampshire. Davis takes it down deep. Vulpes in the middle through 1. Gonna exit on 2. Davis with the slight advantage on exit of 2. Drag race down the backstretch. Vulpes in the wall. Gonna slow him down a little bit. Davis with the brief advantage. Looking to 3. Vulpes gonna drive it deep in the middle lane. Davis gonna try to move him up just a little bit. 37 with the drive. 13 with a great run on the outside. And it's a drag race down the line. And the winner is Joe Vulpes by a nose from New Hampshire.
Might be the greatest finish we've seen in the series. I think we had another one a few weeks ago. I mean, the series has just been showing great finish after great finish here just at the start of the season. You guys are missing out on some great ARCA action.
Jared Kelly giving a little congratulatory bump there. Incredible 5-lap shootout there. Davis, Vulpes, incredible battle. Vulpes gets Davis by a nose at the line. Incredible action. You see the 37 giving big props to the 13. They kept it clean, boys, and that's what it's all about. Joe Vulpes, your race winner from New Hampshire.
Oh my goodness, I think we're going to have to go back and watch those last couple laps back just to see the battle to the finish. Once again, another photo finish for this series. Another one just a couple weeks after we had one.
I really need some Crown Royal after that affair. Wow, boys, what an incredible race. Take us through there, Swingle. What'd you see?
Oh, that was a great run off the corner, especially having him passing so many drivers running the low line and on the apron. That Vulpes was able to maintain his throttle through 3 and 4 and get that great run off the high side.
Here we're coming to 2 to go.
Just amazing here. So you see the patience. They get by Redinger, and that frees themselves up to settle it amongst themselves. They had the fresh tires in relation to Redinger and Jared Kelly there. They went toe to toe like heavyweights there, each showing, hey, I can do the bottom, you can do the bottom. I was concerned there when Vulpes had a little contact with the wall there, but he was able to power back into 3 and 4. And Swingle, look at this drag race out of 4, incredible.
Yeah, that definitely helped Vulpes out, maintaining his speed through the corner and not allowing him to drift all the way up to the wall coming out of the corner.
It's just one of the best races I've seen in this series. A little rocky start with the cautions, but what a finish.
Yeah, so here we go. This is coming to the finish once again.
We'll take one more look at it. It's just, it's breathtaking. And this is what racing is all about. Great battle to the finish. The guys keeping it clean, letting their racecraft and their skill speak for themselves, and Vulpes right there, less than half a car length. Look at that. Take a screenshot there. So with that being said, Joe Volpus does the victory donuts. He's burning that thing down. I don't know how he has any tires or engine left. He's going to move that wall and create a new road course at New Hampshire. Look at our results tonight from Friday Night Thunder. Joe Volpus, your pole sitter, going to take it home tonight and get the big win from New Hampshire. Andrew Davis, hell of a performance, showed us something incredible running that apron there, able to bring it home in second. Jared Kelly with an impressive performance there, finishes third to round out the podium. Series leader Ken Redinger led many laps tonight. Incredible car control, showed us he had great speed on the long run, finishes fourth. Patrick Cowgill with an impressive performance, finishes fifth. Matthew Fritz, he was up there all night, guys. Fritz with a great run here. Not the finish he was hoping for, but still a great run in sixth. Eric Gambrell, who was the most electrifying with that diving and that running the apron move, takes it home in seventh. David Brenner, Mr. Top 10 himself, David Brenner with eighth. Steve Lewis recovers after two incidents with two separate cautions, brings it home in ninth. And Buddy Solly, who was up front for many portions of the race, not the result he was looking for, but still a solid top 10.
Yep, and definitely not the result he was looking for. But some guys were a little bit more fortunate to get some of their track position back. Jerry Rose able to recover to an 11th place. Probably not ideal for him, but I would imagine he'll take it after a very eventful day. Same with the guy right behind him, Richard Swingle, able to get a P12 after being backwards twice in wrecks today. That should be a pretty good consolation prize to get that thing home on the lead lap in 12th. Behind him, Jay Stinson, not the run he was looking for at all here today, ends up in P13. Behind him, John Beverly with a very quiet race, ends up in 14th place in a photo finish over Justin Parham, it looks like, for 14th actually. Parham ends up in 15th, not the run he wanted after being up front for most of that event. Chase Greer ends up right behind them in 16th in his debut. Behind them, you see Matt Novella, not able to recover after being involved in that lap 32 wreck earlier in the race, as well as pitting at a cycle with everybody else. Dalton Connor able to come home in 18th place. Zach Stevens rounds out your cars on the lead lap, able to bring it home in one piece on the lead lap in his debut, but had such good speed. I think he had high hopes to get a good finish out of this one. He'll look to turn it around next week at Watkins Glen and really execute the finish that he deserves. 20th place goes to Tommy Fox. His string of bad luck continues with another one here today, ends up a lap down. Brandon Garand ends up in 21st. Speaking of bad luck, everything went wrong after he ended up backwards coming out of turn 2 there on lap number 75. Ends up 7 laps down at the end of it in 21st after being top 10 for most of the race. And then Nate Lesko, we saw him out of the race early with some big incidents. Ends up 83 laps down in 22nd.
Yeah, absolutely. An incredible race tonight. And fellas, we're going to do something a little out of character. We have to break down the fourth wall, and we have to recognize this race win since we do have our race winner among us. So we're going to go ahead and shoot the moon and go for it. Tonight in the booth, your race winner, Joe Volpus, joins us tonight. He's going to break out of his alter ego, and we're going to talk to the driver. Congratulations, Joe. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, how you doing?
Long time no talk. How we been, bro?
I've been pretty good, the usual. Getting ready for another snowstorm. Whip-de-doo. I swear I live in Siberia up here, so when we put the city up here and you see how it says Pennsylvania, I think I'm going to change that to Pennsylvania, Siberia. Yeah, because I think that's more appropriate for the weather that goes on up here, to be honest with you. But in terms of the race, New Hampshire, I was thinking about it earlier that this track, I've never really gotten along with this track very well, going back to the heat days at least. Probably my least favorite track to go to back in the day, up there with probably Phoenix and And I think that those would probably be my top two that I really didn't like going to that weren't a dirt track back in the heat days. And it's kind of weird how the pace was really there tonight for New Hampshire, a track that I absolutely despised over there. And then Phoenix is another track that I'm really good at on this side as well. So it's kind of weird how tracks that I was not good at on the console, I'm really good at over here. I know it flips the other way as well. Homestead was one of my favorites on console, and it's my least favorite track on here by far. So I'll take the swap on this track. A lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun here in the past, especially battling to the line with people. Um, it kind of clicked with me probably about 2/3 through the race that I remembered an absolutely like amazing dive bomb that I made on the old before the refresh to get third place in a race to make the championship for way back when the Xfinity Series was called the Xfinity Series on Wednesdays. I remember making a dive bomb using the apron a little bit and taking it three wide to the line to get the spots, and that it like really hooked up well. So at one point there, after I binned it like a coconut head, I tried to see if it would work the same way because I saw guys going down there, and it's like, huh, maybe there is something down there still. And then by the end of the race, I was going way down there in the Brad Keselowski SVG range, like way down towards the inside wall. So it really, really hooked up a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to old Dingo Swingle there. I know he's got a couple questions and comments he'd like to express to you. Great job tonight, great win. Turn it over to Swingle.
I pretty much just got a comment. It's nice to see you start the race with the pole. Congrats on that. And then throughout the middle half of the race, giving people a chance at thinking that they're going to win, and then just coming back on the last lap and taking it away.
Yes.
Yeah, so take us through that.
Yeah, so yeah, so the last few laps, of course, going way down to the apron helped me get into second, get around Jared, get around Redinger. And then I got up to Davis, and I would assume he was watching in his mirror, because he went straight to the bottom when I got to him to make sure I couldn't do the same thing to him. So it's like, all right, I've run the outside before in this race, and the one time that I really tried to push it out there, I wrecked it out of two. So let's just make sure I can push it that hard and just not do that. Which the first time I dove it in there really good. I was side by side, and I was just a little hesitant on the throttle, and I was very glad that I was because I got a little loose, and I did not want to wipe us both out. I wanted it to be a good, clean battle, one of us to get the win, because we did a good job fighting our way back up front. I didn't want to wipe us out with two to go. And then I had to dive it deep into three, and then I got the runoff four, and I got him at the line coming to the white, and I'm like, all right, if I could just do the same thing without getting loose out of two, then I'll be golden. And then I hit the wall out of two on the last lap, and he got the same advantage. So it's like, all right, I have to do the same thing again, dive it in deep, and then make sure I just stay alongside him enough to maybe put some dirty air, like affect the air to his car enough to where I get the run off four. And it actually worked. He got a little bit loose. He had like maybe a nose on me. If he didn't get loose, I don't know if I would have got him, just because of how tight it really was there at the end. But once I saw his car get just a little squirrely, and then I nosed ahead, I'm like, all right, I know I got it. And that was like the last 2 seconds of the race that I really knew I had the race won. Actually, that's really cool. Kind of reminds me of some old New Hampshire finishes back in the day. I think we saw some close ones here in the past in real life. Really reminded me of stuff like that.
Yeah, so to that point, we saw that caution come out late. Were you going to be able to make it on fuel if that caution does not come out? And do you think you'd be able to get the same result?
I think I was good to make it. It was gonna be tight, but I think I was like right on the number. The only question was gonna be did anybody in front of me save better than I did? And was I gonna end up in the same situation I did on Sunday for the championship where Landry did a better job than I did, and he was able to push the car when he needed to. I know Jared and him work together a lot, so I know Jared has a lot of the same sort of knowledge and stuff that Jason does. So I was kind of afraid that with Jared 2.5 seconds out in front of me, that he'd be able to back it up to me if he really needed to save the fuel. I was curious to see if that's how it was going to play out or not, and then the caution came out, so we'll never know if Jared was going to have enough to hold me off or not. I was curious to see if that's what was going to happen or not.
So now you got that win under your belt. Looking ahead at the schedule before the chase begins, do you have some circled on that schedule that you're excited for and looking to build on this momentum?
Well, see, next week we have Watkins Glen, so that's a good track for me with speed wise. But I know a lot of guys are going to be itching to get their hands on that racetrack this week, so I'm kind of excited to see just the different kind of parity that we see in this car compared to others. When we go to Watkins, hopefully it turns out in my favor, because that's a good track for me. And then we're going to Bristol, where I've won a bunch here recently, so that's good. And then Kentucky is always a fun track to go to. And then Talladega is a wild card, and then Homestead I'm not going to win in any way, shape, or form. And then we got Daytona, another wild card. So I think my best chance to maybe get another win is in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And lastly, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out or recognize?
Yeah, so always great to have you guys come on the broadcast with me, so we're able to get this bad boy out and rolling every week. Actually cool to have somebody new in the booth with us, Richard Swingle. I want to give you, hold on. I know how to do this. We can do this. Hold on. We gotta give you the golf clap, the nice little applause for coming to join us here in the booth today. I'm very happy to have you in here with us. Really cool to have somebody new in the booth with us this week as well.
Of course, I was going to be here because it was my paint scheme that won the race tonight.
Listen, I know you're always so happy to see these paint schemes win. I swear they're cursed half the time in these races, but tonight it worked out in the favor for us. So of course you're always welcome to come back. See, it's always great to have you on doing the play-by-play. It's always a lot of fun to do that. So it's great to have these broadcasts rolling as they are on MRL Broadcasting, and they'll stay over here as long as we're doing it. And I saw some numbers in the background. We were pushing 50. I don't know if we got over 50 or not on the view count, but thank you to everybody that came out and watched the video here. It's always great to see these videos do so well. And I know you guys love watching the live streams, so keep sharing it, liking, subscribing over here. Great content every week. Like clockwork, we're doing these races over here. We'll see if we're able to get some of the other series that aren't getting covered right now onto here as well, hopefully in the near future as well.
So absolutely a pleasure to work with you in the booth and on the track, and looking forward to the rest of the season and beyond. Tonight's race winner, Joe Volpis. So I'll tell you, Swingle, that was a hell of a ride tonight. And after our results from New Hampshire, we'll take a look at the updated points and look at that. We have a new contender in second place. Ken Redinger still retains the lead after a solid performance, leading laps, finishing fourth. Joe Volpis moves up 2 spots, and he's going to be 23 points behind Ken. So Volpis going to start to try to put on the pressure. Got a little bit of work to do, but now he's in the sole possession of second. Eric Gamble going to lose a spot there, going to drop down to third, only 2 points behind Volpis. And Justin Parham, after that contact with Gamble, going to lose a position as well. Matt Novella and Steve Lewis remain unchanged.
Yep, Dalton Connor, you can see him. He remains unchanged as well, tied with Jay Stinson for 7th. Tommy Fox back there in 9th. And then Swingle, look at this. Look at this battle from 10th all the way back to about, I don't even know how far you want to go back. I mean, honestly, everybody back to 21st. All these guys still in really good chance of making the playoffs, or their chase, if they keep stringing the races together And the one thing I want to point out here, you got the starts, and then you got the starts needed to be eligible for the chase or best of the rest. We're halfway through the regular season, so these boys right now not on the cut line yet of being in trouble of being ineligible.
Oh, absolutely, and pretty close. It just takes one race,
That it
one race
does.
to make up a lot of field.
Absolutely. So, the points battle is tightening up. Very exciting to see how the rest of the regular season unfolds. We go from New Hampshire tonight, and then we go ahead and we move ahead. As you see, the rest of the graph has got a lot of guys in
So
orange and red. So, if we could take a look and explain that to the audience as well.
So the guys in orange, 6 races left in the regular season. That means those guys in orange, they need to start every single race from here on out if they want to be chase or best of the rest eligible. The guys in red, it's already over for them.
So the guys in red eliminated, just coming to race and to trophy hunt. Definitely encourage them to continue racing when they're able to. But the guys in orange, it's a must race situation if they would like to be eligible for any kind of postseason consideration. So we'll definitely track that as we move forward. And we'll look ahead to the schedule. Watkins Glen doing a road course next week. Watkins Glen, probably the most driver-friendly, easily accessible road course that most of the National Touring Series do. So it'll be fun to take the ARCA cars to Watkins. And then after that, you got the short track. The last great Coliseum, of course, is Bristol. We love Bristol. And then Kentucky, always a great 1.5 mile intermediate. It's not one they race in real life anymore. Not sure what's going to happen to that track. But for our purposes, we'll continue to run it everywhere, every place, anyhow. And then after that, of course, it's Dega, it's the super speedway, it's the ultimate wild card, it's anybody's race. And then Homestead and another super speedway, Daytona. So it's an incredible second half of the regular season. A lot can change. One race doesn't necessarily mean you're out of it, but a string of bad luck can just make it all implode. Or if somebody catches a hot streak, that can totally change this points system and standings on its ear.
That's for certain.
So takeaways from New Hampshire tonight, fellas.
Go ahead, Swingle.
I've got nothing.
No takeaways.
Yeah, no takeaway. I mean, it was a really good race. It had a few cautions, but that was just a little bit of driver error with the throttle control. But for the most part, it was exciting racing. Multiple line were being used on the track, which was great to see, and definitely looking forward to the rest of the season with the upcoming schedule.
All right, so I want to piggyback off the multiple line thing. I think most of us were thinking coming into this race, New Hampshire, the way it drives, you usually want to go further onto the banking, and it used to be the further up you went, the better runs you got. However, tonight it did the absolute opposite. It did what it did in the Cup cars in the rain, if you remember, where everybody wanted to go down to the apron to get speed. It looked like that was where the magic was really happening tonight, was on the apron to make the moves that you needed to win the race. So an absolute opposite sort of thing. We'll see how this kind of carries when we go to more short track style tracks coming up. I know the Milwaukee Mile is a chase track with an apron that's usable in 1 and 2. So we'll see if the boys might take some of their knowledge from tonight to races later down the schedule. Seems C doesn't have any sort of takeaways, or we're having some technical difficulties here.
I'll turn it to next week as I let you guys do the technical aspects of things. Going road course racing next week. What are your takeaways or early impressions on what to see next week when we go to Watkins Glen.
Make sure the brakes are calibrated because you're going to need to be using them a lot. Also, be up to date on the way the track limits are. A lot of track limit changes here recently to NASCAR vehicles, so you're able to use a lot more runoff area than you were in the past, especially at Watkins Glen.
Swingle, anything to add to Watkins next week?
Other than keeping an eye on your fuel mileage.
Aha. So maybe a little strategy at play. Good call. Good call. So yeah, a lot to look forward to tonight, and maybe we put ahead that broadcast portfolio graphic up before we head on out of here. You see, we have a lot of series here in the Moonlight Racing League. A little bit of something for everybody. It all kicks off Monday night with the Monday Night Mayhem Cup Series. Those boys are in the middle of their regular season. They're going to be heading to Chicagoland on Monday night, another 1.5-mile intermediate track after they went south of the border to Mexico City last week. So they'll be excited to be back in the States and be back on the ovals. Mean Gene Money and Zach Panzarella on the call on the Vortex Racing Network. So be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon there. The MRL Early Bird season, that one is going to be on a hiatus. Trying to get a feel for what will work to get the numbers and the rosters up. I'll let Swingle talk about that briefly before I speak on the rest of the schedule.
Yeah, so we had about a dozen drivers so far that had checked in for that series, but not enough to field a full race. So we are still taking applications for it. If we could get the numbers back up to where there's more competition, we will readjust the dates for that. There is a possibility also that this series will move to Saturdays at a later time, which may help with recruitment as well.
It's Gen 6 cars, guys. Sign up, reach out. They're a lot of fun. Please, could be an exciting series. I know it's in a curious time slot, but it's for those that may not be able to participate in the evenings or the late night. So reach out. We'd love to hear your feedback and love to have you aboard for that. So moving on from Tuesdays, we'll keep you posted. We go to Wednesday night. It's the DDI Moonlight Truck Series. It's an incredible series for trucks. You have DDI, you have Moonlight Racing League join forces on Hump Day. Large fields, lots of talent out there. Fireworks are of the plenty. And you see the schedule there. They just had their race at Sonoma, so they're going to be going back to the 1.5 mile at Texas this coming Wednesday. They have a wonderful tape delay broadcast on that on the Vortex Racing Network, so be sure to check them out. And then Thursday night, new exciting series. It was the Xfinity Series on Wednesday nights. Now it's the Thursday night thriller, the TNT O'Reilly Series, currently in a recruitment period. Got one more recruitment race coming up. It's going to be at Kansas this coming Thursday night. Practice at 10 p.m. Eastern, green flag at 11. Be sure to check the hosted sessions on iRacing. It's going to be a banger of a series. Already had lots of fun. We did Echo Park this past Thursday, and it was a blast. So be sure to turn out for that. And then, of course, you've just heard it. You just saw it. The Friday Night Thunder Series, the rebroadcast on Saturday nights. ARCA is an amazing series, a fun car to drive. You saw what can happen on the track. You saw the compelling finish. You heard the coverage. So join us here on MRL Broadcasting Saturday nights in this time slot to see that broadcast. But if you'd like to reach out, practice starts at 10, race starts at 11 Friday nights. Book the reservation. We'll see you out there.
Ain't that the truth?
So thoughts before we get out of here, fellas?
I want to go to next week. Let's get to some more road course racing.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm ready for some Watkins Glen.
Beautiful, beautiful. Pleasure having you guys in the booth tonight. Joe Volpes, a great win tonight. We'll see what happens next week when we go road course racing. Great to have you in the booth, Swingle. Like Joe said, feel free to join us anytime. And any of you drivers out there that want to do the drivers only style, reach out. We'll get you in the booth. We love to talk racing. We like to call it as we see it. So for Old Dingle Swingle, And for Smokin' Joe, I'm your host, Snake. And remember, go fast or get past.